but as you can see, these are the pictures right here. From the inside, it became obvious that the building has been abandoned for years. So this is apparently, here we are at the 28 Lancaster. Much like Aphria's acquisition, from the outside, it almost looked passable. So this is the outside, and then this is apparently the inside of that building, and it does look abandoned. At this point, it's such a gamble and it's such a risk, and I wouldn't recommend anyone to buy it. I'm simply doing it because I'm just following like my gut instincts, and I feel like this company will bounce back. This company will resurrect. Right now they're being attacked, and it was a low blow, and they're winded and out of air. Well, before we get started, I would like to ask you guys to please give me a like. It really helps my channel and it will push me to make more videos. So let's try to get this video to 100 likes. What's going on, guys? It's Investing Hustler here, and today I'm going to talk about Aphria. I'm sure everyone knows by now that there has been some really bad news released about Aphria. I'm going to get into details with Aphria. Right here I have the live charts. Right now we have Aphria at 4.98, so they just went below $5. They've been hovering around $5 for the past, let's say, half hour. So yeah, Aphria has had a very bad couple days. So if we look at Aphria's charts right here, we went from, on September, Aphria is sitting pretty all the way at $22, and then today, December 5th, right now Aphria is at $4.99. So Aphria has dropped over $17 from its high of September. So today alone, Aphria dropped 16%. Aphria received this horrible news on December 3rd. So right here, this is pretty much what killed Aphria right here, this article. And at that point, Aphria was sitting at $10.50 the next day. And today, Aphria lost over 52% of its value, pretty much because this one article that killed Aphria. I'm just going to review it real quick. I'm pretty sure you guys all know about this by now. So Aphria had a 280 million Latin American acquisition, which raised major flags. And the extensive on-the-ground research shows that the transaction to be largely worthless. For example, the official registered office at Aphria's Jamaican acquisition is an abandoned building that was sold off by the bank earlier this year. Another example is a 15 million Argentine acquisition publicly boasted sales of 11 US million. A worker at the company, however, affirmed that 2017 revenue was only 430K. Also, documents show that Aphria insiders were likely undisclosed beneficiaries of the deals. We estimate Aphria diverted upwards of 700 million via such transactions, or 50% of Aphria's total net assets. Aphria consistently generates negative cash, and its cannabis seems to be of low quality. Interviews with sources describe facilities infested with bugs, stricken with mold, and having failed audit inspections. So this is a very, very, very negative article about Aphria, and this article brought Aphria down 52%. Of course, Aphria did respond, but let's go back to the chart. So right now, Aphria is right at their 52-week low. This is they hit their 52-week low. They're pretty much right there, as you can see. They're right there at the bottom. They did go as low as $4.76 today, and their market cap is still at 1.49 billion. They have a PE ratio of 32. They have 232 million shares outstanding. And if you look at these technical analysis, it's a neutral, a sell, a strong sell. Let's look at the 1 minute. It's a buy, buy, buy. 5 minutes, sell, sell, sell. 15. So pretty much right now, if you look at the 1 day, it's a sell, a strong sell, and a neutral. And if you look at the 1 minute, it's well, now it changed to buy, sell, sell. Pretty much Aphria is still a sell. Bad news continues to come. I'm going to touch up on that near the end because they did get another analyst downgrade. But let's just continue. So law firms investigates Aphria for potential violations. So due to Aphria's broad sell-off, several investors lost their investments. The investment might not be recovered if the claims against the company are true. As a result, Johnson Fistel LLP, a law firm, announced that it's investigating Aphria for possibly violating the security law. In a statement, the law firm sought information related to violations from the public and past employees. Johnson Fistel LLP also encouraged investors that suffered losses to contact. So this is a law firm, and they're going to do an investigation on Aphria, and they're encouraging anyone to contact them if you've lost money with them. So Aphria did make a statement, and here is their statement. So Aphria's statement regarding short seller report. Aphria is aware of a short seller report released earlier today. So this was on December 3rd, which Aphria believes is a malicious and self-serving attempt to profit by manipulating Aphria's stock price at an expense of the Aphria shareholders. So investors should exercise, so this is what they said, investors should exercise caution in relying on misinterpretation and distortions contained in the report and recognize that by their own admission, Hindenburg Research stands to realize significant gains in the event that price of any stock covered herring declines. The report also states that Hindenburg Research makes no representation express or implied as to the accuracy, timeliness, or completeness of the information in the report. The report makes reference to a company, Latam Acquisition, which closed on September 27, 2018. In connection with this transaction, the board of directors of Aphria confirmed that it received financial advice and a fairness opinion from a reputable firm, that the consideration to be offered by Aphria in respects of the transaction was fair from a financial point of view to Aphria and its shareholders. Shareholders should refer to the company's disclosure document filled with Canadian and U.S. security regulatory authorities, which are available online under the company's SEDAR profile at sedar.com, the company EDGAR profile at www.sec.gov, or the company website at aphria.com. We have a good thing growing. So pretty much Aphria has brought down the whole market. Aphria, ever since that day, so this was on December 3rd, everything was good. Let's go to the 1-minute charts or to the 5-minute charts. So December 3rd, I mean, it's not like the marijuana industry was doing that great prior to that, but there was not a huge decline like that. It was pretty steady. And then after December 3rd, boom, you seen Aphria take a huge dip. And it wasn't just Aphria that took that dip. On December 3rd, you also see Aurora. After December 3rd, they took a dip. Even Canopy now is sitting at 36.45. So Canopy took a dip. I'm actually about to place an order on Canopy. I'm pretty much waiting to see how low they'll go, because it looks like Canopy is now below their $40 support line. And I did say once they break that $40 support line, they could go as low as 32, and even 28 is a possibility, but that's for another day, a video for another day. If you guys want me to make a video on Canopy, leave me 100 likes and I'll make a video on Canopy growth and how low I think they can go. So another article with Aphria is Aphria unequivocally stands behind its LATAM operations. So today provides the following update on its Latin American operations, including its previously completed Latin acquisition of Latin Holdings Inc., consisting of licenses and other assets and related businesses in Colombia, Argentina, and Jamaica, and a right of first offer and refusal in respect of Brazil. So this is Vic Newfield, Aphria's chief executive officer, since closing this important strategic acquisition in September, we have made considerable progress supporting and building out our operations on the ground in Latin America and the Caribbean. We have nearly 100 employees across the region dedicated to advancing the company's business interests, including cultivation, processing, research and development, partnership, and continued expansion. International operations are a core component to our proven growth strategy, and we are working to integrate and enhance operations and product channels throughout Latin America to position them for sustainable long-term shareholder value creation. So they pretty much give a background on Latin, and it's saying Aphria is committed to good corporate governance and transparency. The Latin acquisition has a transaction negotiated at arm's length between two publicly traded companies, each of which retained professional financial advisors, one of which provided a formal valuation of acquired assets, Aphria and Sol Global Investment Corp. So we can just move on. There's a lot of pretty much they touch up on the Colombia and what Aphria owns 90% interest in Colcana. This is in Colombia. Colcana sits on 34 acres of highly fertile, predominantly flat land. Also in Jamaica, there's Marigold. It's fully operational with cultivation farm and has harvested approximately 25 kilograms of cannabis to date. The company has taken possession of 10 acres of land at Block B, Lot 2. They're pretty much talking about all their acquisitions and the value it brings. They're pretty much talking about all their acquisitions and the value it brings to this company. But as you can see, these are the pictures right here. From the inside, it became obvious that the building has been abandoned for years. So this is apparently, here we are at the 28 Lancaster. Much like Aphria's acquisition, from the outside, it almost looked passable. So this is the outside, and then this is apparently the inside of that building, and it does look abandoned. Aphria is going to really have to do some explaining or really prove themselves here, because this is a very long article, and I'll try to leave this in the description so you guys can read this on the ground in Colombia, an actual office, but not much else. So it's just this article does not make Aphria look good, which explains why Aphria lost more than half its value. So let's look at this article, and then after I'm gonna end it with the analysts downgrade Aphria. So Aphria has a new price target, and it's actually not that bad. So cannabis company creators after short sellers call it a black hole. So this is from Bloomberg. Aphria, one of the biggest Canadian pot companies, fell 23% in New York after short sellers said it was a black hole. Founder of Quintessential Capital Management told delegates at the conference in New York Monday that Aphria has diverted funds into inflated investments held by insiders in a report he ran in conjunction with Hindenburg Research, a forensic analyst firm. Grango said the company, which had $2 billion market capitalization last week, is worthless. Both Quintessentials and Hindenburg are shorting Aphria. So that kind of does say a lot too. These guys are shorting Aphria, so they've made a lot of money off this article. And even if you look at this article at the end of it, it will say that they are both shorting Aphria. Damn, this could be something just to bring the price down, and these guys are laughing right now. They made who knows how much money, but for sure they made millions of dollars. Disclosure: use of Hindenburg's research is at your own risk. In no event should Hindenburg Research or any affiliated party be liable for any direct or indirect trading losses caused by any information in this report. You should assume that as a publication date of any short biased report or letter, Hindenburg Research, possibly along with or through our members, partners, affiliate employees, and consultants, along with our clients and or investors, has a short position in all stocks and or options of the stock covered herein. So there it is. They have a short position, and they tell you in no event that they won't be liable for any direct or indirect trading losses. So they're pretty much just covering themselves, and they admit that they have a short position. So it's a very tricky situation. It's a lot of he said, she said, because Aphria is defending themselves, saying that this is complete BS, but they still really haven't given us a full response. They haven't provided evidence to prove this wrong. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. So our target price for Aphria is 0. Greco told attendees at the conference. So that doesn't look good. 0. So that means anyone invested into Aphria, they pretty much lose all their money. Allegations that have been made by short sellers Quintessential, I can't even say that. I'm just going to say Q Capital in the report that they published this morning are false and defamatory. Tamara McGregor, Aphria's vice president of communications, said in an emailed statement. The company is preparing a comprehensive response to provide shareholders with the facts and is also pursuing all available legal options against Q Capital. So this is the vice president of Aphria's response. The company said in a later statement that the reports was a malicious and self-serving attempt to profit by manipulating Aphria's stock price at an expense of Aphria's shareholders. It's also said that it received financial advice and a fairness opinion from a reputable firm for its recent acquisition of Latam Holdings. Aphria, based in Leamington, Ontario, is the 4th largest cannabis stock by market value and has raised about $700 million over the past 4 years. Canada legalized recreational cannabis consumption in October, and several other countries. So on top of that, there is a new price target for Aphria, and I'm going to get into that. So analysts downgrade Aphria amid possible violations. So on December 4th, New York Stock Exchange halted Aphria in the pre-market session. The trading resumed after Aphria clarified allegations about its Latin America business. So on December 4th, Aphria received a major target price downgrades amid allegations that the company might have violated the securities laws. Haywood cut the company's target price to $17 from 30 Canadian dollars, which represents a steep decline of 43%. Haywood maintained a buy recommendation on the stock. So honestly, that is, I feel like $17 is way more realistic versus $30. And $17 doesn't sound too bad, especially on December 4th, Aphria received a major target price downgrade amid allegations that the company might have violated the security laws. Haywood cut the company's target price to 17 Canadian dollars from 30 Canadian dollars, which represented a steep decline of 43%. Haywood maintained a buy recommendation on the stock. So honestly, I don't think this is too bad. This actually, even though it's a downgrade and it went down by 43%, this actually seems like kind of good news that they're still getting a price target of $17. Because right now, if you look at Aphria charts, Aphria is sitting at just give me a second, at $4.88. So if they went up to 17, that's over 3 times the value they're at right now. I've been buying Aphria. I've been buying at $6.50. I bought some at $5. If it goes down to $4, I might just go all. I don't know. At this point, it's such a gamble and it's such a risk, and I wouldn't recommend anyone to buy it. I'm simply doing it because I'm just following like my gut instincts, and I feel like this company will bounce back. This company will resurrect. Right now, they're being attacked, and it was a low blow, and they're winded and out of air. But it's really a huge gamble at this point. I could easily lose all this money. That's why I'm averaging down small chunks at a time, maybe buying 200 shares, 150, 250. The lower it goes, the more I buy because the cheaper it gets. So I've been averaging down my price. I do have my fingers crossed. I don't recommend anyone to do it because you are playing with fire at this point. So let's just read this article. It's a very quick one, and then that's what I'm going to end it at. So the overall consensus target price, as indicated in the above chart, was also lower on December 4th. The consensus target price was $22 Canadian dollars. 22 Canadian dollars compared to the previous target price of 24.3 Canadian dollars. The overall consensus recommendation on the stock was still a buy on December 4th, despite the lower target price in the above chart. You can see that 3 analysts maintained a strong buy on Aphria, while 5 analysts maintained a buy on the stock. So Aphria is still a buy, and right here is the chart they're talking about. So here on December 2018, Aphria has 5 buys and 3 strong buys. So despite all that, Aphria is still a strong buy. Last month, it was up at around 24, and it went down to, even here it said down to 22. And 5 analysts recommended it a buy. 3 analysts recommended it a strong buy. It's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out. I will try to keep you guys updated. And of course, Aphria did bring down the rest of the markets. A lot of companies went down for no reason. I do want to make a video on Planet 13 because Planet 13 did have a huge correction in the past 2 days. They recovered very nicely, and luckily for me, I bought some shares yesterday at a very low price. I was happy to get it. I did say many times I'm waiting for Planet 13 to go back down just so I can increase my position in Planet 13. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave me a like, and if I get 100 likes, I'll make a video on Canopy or Planet 13. Leave a comment on which video you would like to see. And if you're not subscribed yet, don't forget to hit that notification bell and smash that subscribe button. I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye-bye.